Apple just released the thinnest iPhone in history. At just 5.6 millimeters, the iPhone Air is a titanium-framed engineering marvel. But here's the shocking part: despite this breathtaking design achievement, Apple's stock dipped after the launch. Analysts are worried. Not about the hardware, but about something Apple hasn't delivered: artificial intelligence. So the real question is, has Apple just launched its most beautiful phone at the exact moment it's falling behind in the only race that matters? This is the story of how Apple's obsession with design perfection may be putting it at risk in an era where intelligence, not aesthetics, defines the winners. Apple's journey to becoming the world's most valuable company is nothing short of extraordinary. From the launch of the original Macintosh in 1984 to the iPod in 2001 and the iPhone in 2007, Apple has always understood one thing better than anyone else: design is strategy. Steve Jobs believed technology should feel like magic, and Apple engineered that magic into everyday life. Clean lines, intuitive software, and premium branding turned Apple into a cultural symbol. By the 2010s, Apple wasn't just selling hardware. It was selling status. Owning an iPhone became shorthand for being ahead of the curve. And the numbers proved it. In 2018, Apple became the first US company to hit a $1 trillion valuation. 4 years later, it crossed $3 trillion. That wasn't just growth. That was dominance. Fast forward to September 2025. Apple unveils the iPhone 17 lineup. The star of the show? The iPhone Air. Ultra-thin. Titanium edges. The sleekest iPhone ever made. It's not just a phone. It's a flex of engineering muscle. Apple also rolled out updates across the lineup: improved cameras, new health sensors in the Apple Watch, and upgraded AirPods. On the surface, this was peak Apple: premium design, premium pricing, premium hype. But beneath the applause, analysts noticed something missing. Google had just integrated Gemini AI deeply into Android. Microsoft had doubled down on Copilot across its ecosystem. Even Samsung was branding its latest Galaxy devices as AI-powered phones. And Apple? Apple's presentation said little about generative AI. No new voice assistant. No bold AI features. Just subtle mentions of upgraded chips optimized for machine learning. The omen was clear: Apple's biggest strength, its ability to dictate the narrative, was suddenly being questioned. Apple has been cautious with AI. While competitors rushed out flashy demos, Apple stayed quiet, emphasizing privacy and reliability over rapid rollout. On one hand, that restraint fits Apple's brand. But in the attention economy, silence can look like weakness. Investors noticed. After the iPhone 17 reveal, Apple's stock slipped. Analysts asked, is Apple being left behind? This was a critical moment because it exposed a strategic tension inside Apple. For decades, design has been Apple's moat. Make it thinner, faster, cleaner, and people will pay. But in the AI era, design may no longer be enough. The risk is simple: if consumers begin to believe Samsung or Google phones are smarter, even if they aren't as beautiful, then Apple's dominance could erode faster than expected. The fallout wasn't catastrophic. Apple is still Apple. The iPhone 17 will sell millions. The ecosystem of services, iCloud, App Store, Apple Music, continues to print money. But the skepticism matters. Because once doubt creeps in about Apple's ability to lead the next era of computing, the valuation premium that makes Apple a $3 trillion company starts to wobble. It happened before. In the early 1990s, Apple lost its edge in personal computers to Microsoft. For a decade, Apple wandered, nearly bankrupt, until the return of Steve Jobs. Today, no one is saying Apple is about to collapse. But the iPhone 17 launch was a reminder that even the strongest companies can look vulnerable when the narrative shifts. So, what happens next? Apple has 3 paths forward. 1. It doubles down on design, making the iPhone Air and its successors even more of a luxury product, leaning into the prestige factor. 2. It quietly accelerates its AI roadmap, waiting until the technology feels seamless and then delivering a signature Apple moment. Or 3. It risks falling into the middle, not the best in AI, not the boldest in design, just another player in a market it once defined. Which path Apple takes will determine whether the iPhone 17 launch is remembered as a milestone or a warning sign. So, what can we learn from Apple's strategy? Lesson 1. Design isn't everything. Apple's obsession with aesthetics built its empire, but in new markets, the definition of innovation changes. Leaders must adapt before their edge becomes a weakness. Lesson 2. Timing is as important as technology. Apple's caution with AI may protect its brand from overpromising. But moving too late risks losing the story to competitors. In business, waiting for perfect timing can mean missing the moment. Lesson 3. Perception drives valuation. Apple's fundamentals are strong, but Wall Street's reaction shows how fragile investor confidence can be when the narrative shifts. Leaders need to manage not just performance, but perception. So here's the big question: did Apple just deliver a design triumph, or did it miss the chance to prove it belongs in the AI race? Comment below with your take. Do you think Apple will win the AI war, or is Google already too far ahead? If you found this case study valuable, hit the like button to help more people discover it, subscribe for more deep dives into corporate triumphs and failures, and don't forget to share this video with someone who still thinks design alone defines the future. Because in today's business world, the smartest strategy might not always be the thinnest one.